Hello guys, so I told you that the Prince and the Bride 7 and 8 will be out today. All right, it's out. So if you have not seen it, go and see it. It's getting more and more interesting. Well, I really feel for Ulima. I really feel for her, but I think she went too far. All right, because I'm sure they are from that community, they know their tradition. And Obinna, his father is the chief priest, so they should know the tradition. I think they really went too far in what they did. Now Obinna is gone. It's so painful, and anybody that comes in contact with Olima, all right, anybody that comes, any man at all that comes across our way will surely go in for it, and that's the tradition because the prince has declared her his bride. All right, but now that the chief priest's son Obina has defied her, what do you think will happen? Do you think the prince will still want to marry her? Do you think the prince will still be in love with her? All right, the punishment is really too much on the chief priest. From beginning, he never really accepted that. So I wonder why the gods also decided to strike to strike one of his eyes. All right, because from beginning he never supported anything about Olima and his son. All right, like I said, the movie is getting more and more interesting. And Amara and her friend, desperate girls. I wonder what they are thinking. Like the prince will end up with one of them, even if he does, which I know will not happen. But even if he does, what do you think? The second one will still want to do something that will expose the Princess Adana. I'm sure if the prince even ends up with one, either Amara or her friend, the other one will still expose Princess Adana. So whatever she's doing, whatever Princess Adana is doing is just out of her own selfish interest, wanting to cover up her own sins, wanting to cover up her own problem and her issues, all right? And I'm sure at some point it will still be exposed because the prince will not marry any of these girls. And Amara's friend is already planning bad against her, even with her own mother. These girls are really desperate. I feel for the chief priest, all right, for for what the gods did to him, though it's not his fault. Like I said, the movie is getting more and more interesting. Do you think the prince will still end up with Olima? Because Olima does not really love the prince, but do you think he will end up with her because he's the only one that can marry Olima? It's getting more interesting. Thank you very much for watching.